right. So, CMD boxing reports. Yeah, man, it's been a minute, since I've been out here making these videos in these YouTube streets. I am a businessman and my business has picked up. So, hey, a businessman has been busy. Okay, business has been keeping me busy. But yeah, I'm glad I found some time. I was trying to drop a video back here last month, somewhere at the end of December. But hey, better late than never, right? So now about what's been going on in boxing. Yes, I heard about Terrence Bud Crawford retirement. Yes, everyone heard about it. So you know what that means. Let the joy and pain begin, okay? And what I means by that, you're gonna have a lot of people who's happy for Bud. Like, hey man, you've done a lot. You've been blackballed and you still came out on top. Okay, you conquered like 3 different divisions as becoming undisputed. Hey man, you got your name out there. They tried to stop you, but hey, like a strong black man. You know how to fight, you fight on, okay? Yeah, man, show that, black American strength there. Nah, just kidding, but yeah, man, he showed his strength. He ain't let nobody stay in his way. He ain't let nobody say he couldn't do it, right? So, although, they still try to give him the short end of the stick, by saying that he wasn't fighter of the year, they gave it to Inoue. Yeah, like I said, let the joy and pain begin. And for the ones whose butt hurt about it, they're the ones who's making all of these assumptions and all this, that, and the third. Some people had expressed that he should try to break Floyd Mayweather's record. I'm like, what? Break Floyd Mayweather's record? Man, come on. So y'all know what they're leaning to, okay? They want to see Bud lose, okay? That's just how it is. He beat their favorite fighter. He beat Canelo. He beat Errol Spence. Yeah, a lot of people are butthurt. Yeah, they want him. They want to see him getting taken down. Why don't he go and take on Jermell Charlo at 154? Yeah, become a 4-time undisputed champion, which is something he had in plan. But he said enough. I did enough. All right. Now, one thing I want to mention again about Terrence Crawford retirement. Notice how a lot of people want him to come back, but when who was it? Joe Calzaghe, when he retired, all the boxing experts from Ring Magazine, HBO, they were saying, nah, hey man, stay retired. You did your thing, okay? Yeah, you have nothing else to prove. But when it's Crawford, nah man, you gotta come back and fight this guy. Nah man, I'm not gonna look at you as, a number 1 pound per pound or, a legit boxer, not unless you come back and move down and fight Inoue or try to fight Teofimo or Jermell Charlo. I mean, god damn. I mean, they want my man to go all the way down to take on Inoue and Teofimo and all them. Like I said, y'all know what they want. They want the brother to lose. Now, moving on with Errol Spence, all right? With his, retirement, might as well say he's retired, little kid. The reason why Spence ain't come back, it's like this, it's like a bully, okay? This bully could beat everybody on the block until he runs into this, kid he never seen before. The kid is smaller than him, just like every other kid he was beating up on. But this new kid, he has hands, okay? And the bully been beating up on people because people wouldn't fight back. And when they did try to fight back, they weren't strong enough. But the new kid on the block, trust me, he got them hands and he's strong enough and he ain't scared of his height. So, the bully and the new kid gets into it. The new kid, he gets his arse beat, okay? And after that, arse whooping he took, hey, he done humbled the homeboy, okay? Now, what I'm talking about with Errol Spence is, Spence was given special treatment. He was giving guys that he can beat. And some of his fights looked kind of suspicious, like the one with the Cuban guy. He wasn't really doing nothing in that fight. And when he rocked Spence, he just stopped performing and just let Spence beat up on him. See, the thing is, Spence he really wasn't that man. Okay, I mean, the truth about him was that he was not the truth. Okay, I understand they called him that, but he really wasn't the truth, right? You see, he was all big up in his head, what people were saying about him on the internet. He was, trying to live like a rapper in the video. Okay, he was living a life in a hip hop video, so going out to clubs, drinking, and all that type of stuff. And people bigging his head up, man. He's still great. He's the greatest. No one can beat him, and whatnot. But as he got inside that ring with Terrence Bud Crawford, the truth came out. Okay, the truth, right? He got humbled, right? And he even came out and admitted that he wasn't taking his career seriously. And some people think that Derrick James, he wasn't a good trainer for Spence. That's BS, okay? Look, Spence, he was in his head, okay? And, he just had a big head. He wasn't learning any new tactics because he believed, the way he fights, it took him this far. Hey, I don't need to improve or anything. So if he didn't really want to listen to, Derrick James and whatnot, hey, that's on him. Derrick James is like, hey, he don't listen, cool. I'll just keep getting paid, hey. Yeah, but, for people who think that Derrick James, he wasn't really a good trainer for Spence, but even I thought the same. I was like, nah, he's not all that good. But then again, nah, it's the fighter, okay? Look, if you really wants to become good at your craft, okay, you're going to go in and you're going to listen to that trainer, no matter who they are, all right? But as long as that trainer has experience, put it like that, okay? The reason why I said that is because what happened with the young man who fired his pops and whatnot, and I heard he's going with Derrick James, and a lot of people don't think Derrick James would be a good match for him, but no, old Junior really wants to know his craft because he got humbled against Devin Haney. Okay, Brian Norman Jr. That is Devin Haney. Woke him up. He was like, nah, man, I want to be better. Okay, and he's going to listen to his trainer. So yeah, man, it's been a crazy year and everything. I mean, in boxing, a lot of changes, a lot of new faces and whatnot. I have been listening. Shout out to the Black Horseman, Bruce Vane. Oh man, everyone. I've still been listening to y'all. On on YouTube and whatnot. Goodfella Sports, 78 Sports. Yeah, man, I've been listening, man. So, my man Loves Rawls. Couldn't forget about him, Loves. Out there over the pond. Was good. Yeah, man. So, anyways, that's my take on this. Hopefully, I'll come back with another video and try to keep up with the boxing now. So, that's my take on this CMD Boxing Reports. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.